Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Robert Schwartz. I am the director of the Osher Center for Integrative Health at the University of Miami. Our center has clinical research and education programs, and we're part of the Osher Collaborative. It's composed of 10 other centers around the country and a program in Stockholm. Today, I'm delighted to introduce to you Morgan Kidd, our newest member of our team, who joined us in November of 2024. Morgan is a national board certified health and wellness coach with a master's degree in community psychology from Florida Agriculture and Mechanical University. Morgan's work as a mental health and holistic wellness coach includes experience working with physicians, delivering individualized coaching sessions, utilizing a range of therapeutic techniques to address clients' unique mental health needs and goals, providing wellness sessions, utilizing culturally competent therapeutic interventions and techniques, implementing individualized plans to assist clients in achieving their health goals, and developing and facilitating educational workshops on wellness topics, promoting awareness and providing practical skills for stress reduction and emotional regulation. Morgan, it's a pleasure. I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Schwartz, and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining today. It's an honor to present this information to you all, and I hope that is as engaging as possible. I don't want to just talk your ears off, but I would love for you all to just engage with the information and remain open. And yeah, and so yes, thank you so much, Dr. Schwartz. I am Morgan, as mentioned. And this is the meet and greet with your wellness guide. So we'll begin, but before we begin, I just want you to think about, I went ahead before I needed to. Let's go back. Let's see here. Okay. All right, here we go. So I want you to bring to your mind's eye, or just to the forefront of your mind, the question, when you think of your health, what is the first thing that comes to mind? And so I just want to invite you to think about what that looks like for you. Or maybe it's not an image, but more so a feeling. And maybe think about, what do you want it to look like for you? And then just further think, what are the steps you need to take to get there? So as you ponder on that for a little bit, just a little brief story of how I got into health coaching. And so, as mentioned, I am a mental wellness and holistic and integrative nutrition health coach. So I have my degree in community psychology, and so I have background as a behavioral health therapist. So I worked in Miami as a behavioral therapist with children and families. And so, one thing that I noticed while doing that work is that there was a huge part of approaching mental wellness or mental health missing in the conversation. And so, I started to get curious about what it is that we're missing. And so, um, I went out and I went to go get my integrative nutrition health coach certification. And this really broadened my view on the ways in which we are viewing our health, and that we might be needing to take a bigger step back before we get to really focus and hone in on the areas that are calling for more attention. So I find that a lot of the folks that I work with fall somewhere in line. Oh, I'm so sorry. We are moving. Here we go. I find that most folks that I work with find themselves somewhere in one of these camps, right? They either feel like they're doing everything right? They're eating well, exercising, and somehow they're waking up from a full night's rest feeling exhausted, not feeling vital throughout their day. Or you're waking up tired and you're going through the motions of the day. You probably feel like you've accomplished all you need to accomplish in life, or you're at the career that you wished for. Uh, you have the family, you have the home, you have all these things that you mapped out your life to look like, and however, you're still feeling unfulfilled, or you're feeling like your body's just not keeping up to that image. Or you might find yourself saying, I want to feel healthier, but I don't know where to start. Or you might find yourself saying, I know exactly what I need to do, but doing it feels like the hard part. And so I want to invite you to think about now health in a more comprehensive way, where a lot of the conversation around health could be just missing the mark. A lot of us are talking about diet and exercise. And however, those things are important. Um, but truthfully, it's about how everything in our life connects. And so this is where we talk about uh, holistic health, or a holistic approach to our health, which is the whole person approach. So many of you may have already heard the term holistic health. And this really helps us to see ourselves as whole beings, truthfully multidimensional. So we are not parts of a whole, we are whole beings with many parts. And so we sometimes hear it as mind, body, and spirit. And when we are pouring into one area, we can feel confident that we're pouring into all of the areas. However, when there is imbalance in one area of our life, that area could be calling for more attention from us. And it's important to do really great questioning, good exploring, have curiosity about all the ways in which we exist in the world, and then find and pinpoint that area that needs more love and attention. And so I want you just to imagine for a second, if you've ever been to a live performance, or like if you've seen a drum circle. I like the picture of a drum circle. And so each drummer kind of represents a different part of your health, or each musician represents a different part of your health. So that's your nutrition, your movement, your relationships, your career. And so when all the drums are in rhythm, the beat flows effortlessly, and it feels good, and it feels natural and powerful. But now think about if one drummer or one drum is off. You can still hear the music loud and clear. However, it feels a little uneven. And so imagine now that multiple drums are out of sync. And then rhythm starts to feel a little chaotic and almost overwhelming. And so it just takes more effort to be in tune. And so when the drums come back to harmony again, the beat returns and everything feels aligned. And so I want to invite you to see your health working in the same way. And that it's not about fixing anything. It's really about bringing everything back to balance. So your joy and your energy and your well-being can flow effortlessly. And one thing I do find when I say it's not about fixing anything, a lot of folks do have a really hard time conceptualizing that, right? Like we're going to our doctors and we're saying this is the thing that I want to fix. However, maybe it's taking a step back again, seeing our wellness on a more of a spectrum, right? Some of us may be on the far left, managing detrimental illnesses. Some of them may be life-threatening, or some of us are a little bit more closer to the middle, and we're on a treatment paradigm, getting back to maybe more of a neutral place in our wellness. And so sometimes we just may feel like we're in a neutral place. We're not feeling completely vital, but we're not seeing ourselves fighting a specific illness or disease. And so with this picture, I like for us to also realize that holistic health and viewing our health in that way, it allows us to not just think about wellness as the absence of illness. So, like if you're not sick, you must be healthy. But actually, it's more about the lack of disease, it's the presence of vitality and energy and balance in your life. And so, if we continue to think of our health on a spectrum, then we get to really experience life in a full and vital way. And how do we move beyond just okay and into thriving? How do we nourish the mind? How do we nourish the body, the spirit, and what really makes us feel alive? So just imagine if your goal wasn't just to not feel bad, but actually to feel your best. And so that's the shift holistic health invites you to make. And that's when we talk about, or we get to talk about, primary and secondary foods. So if wellness is not just about avoiding illness, what actually creates health? Well, it's what nourishes us. And what we typically think about when we talk about the word nourishment, we're thinking about what's on our plate, right? We're thinking about our protein, our carbs, and our fiber, and all the things. And how can I get enough calories? Or I'm getting too many calories. But what if we looked at our wellness beyond just our plate and look at our primary and our secondary foods? So I like this quote by an artist, and he says, "We feed the mind good wisdom, the body good nutrition, and the soul good vibes, and the heart good love, and that's the elevation for your situation." So I want to invite you to look at this wheel. We call it the circle of life. And these are the 12 key areas of our health. Or I like to let folks see this as 12 key areas of our health. And so if you just take a look, I hope you can see it pretty well on your screen, where we have creativity, finances, career, education, health, physical activity, home cooking, your relationships, joy, feelings of joy. Just taking a look at this and taking a quick pause. And then I just want you to ask yourself, what's that one area for you? The one that's holding the most stress, or the one that's whispering to you that you could use some more support in that area. And just keep that in mind. So truthfully, with integrative nutrition, we take the typical, if you can see here, the USDA My Plate, where we probably most of us have seen it, maybe in a health clinic or in a doctor's office, just to kind of give us an idea of what our plate should look like at dinner, lunchtime, how what have you. However, with integrative nutrition, or as an integrative nutrition health coach, I help you to realize and see that yes, our plate is so important. However, our physical activity, our relationships, our career, our spirituality, the amount of water we drink, all of these things play a huge role. So we just get to take a further step back to see that all of these things nourish us truthfully, um, the things that are on our plate and off of our plate. So here's one example that I really like to talk about. Oop, I'm going ahead of myself here. So the blue zones, I don't know if anyone is familiar with the documentary on Netflix that highlights blue zones. And blue zones basically are regions of the world or in the world where people live long and healthy lives, and that their health is a result of their lifestyle. And I love the fact that it points out lifestyle and not necessarily one aspect of our health, because it's just the way they exist in the world, right? So maybe their first line of defense is in their kitchen. So they're using food as medicine. Natural movement is a part of their life. Whereas maybe they're not having to focus on a gym membership every day, even though these things are great. The blue zones help us to realize that all of these things in our life are just integrated. So instead of looking at exercise as a chore, we look at it as just a part of the way we exist, the way we be in this life. And so deep connections are also one of the areas of their health that they highlight in blue zones, that they emphasize, right? Really emphasizing community as a part of our health, where we're dealing with like epidemics of isolation and loneliness here. You have these zones that really highlight that we can't talk about our health without talking about our connections and how those affect us. Stress reduction, again, in if you take a look at the blue zones or just do a little self-study, stress reduction again is already integrated and intertwined in the way they exist. So that looks like depending on some spiritual aspect of their life, or really being mindful about their practices that reduce stress, whether that's, again, praying or meditation or all the things that contribute. And then really a huge part of this, and in the picture you're looking at a group of elderly women in Okinawa, Japan, which has been designated as a blue zone. And one of the biggest parts of the aspects of a blue zone is that they have purpose driven lifestyles. So, meaning that there's a purpose that they're all kind of focused on, or that is, again, intertwined in the way that they are existing in life. And that helps them to feel fulfilled in their everyday. So that every day they're waking up and feeling vital and excited about the days to come, not feeling like another Monday is on the calendar and we're feeling dread, or we're feeling like I can't keep doing this for the next couple years. Purpose is really a huge part that you'll see, is that it's interwoven into their lifestyle. So I love to highlight this because it's a really great example of how we can start to view our health as not a chore, but it's just the way we exist and who we are, healthy beings, vital, full of energy, and full of love. So, what do I do? How can I help you to bring this all together, right? So, what if you had a guide for all of this? I love this picture. It's two folks in a park walking side by side. And so I find that it's not that most people need more information, but they actually need more guidance and clarity and support on how to actually implement what they already know. And so if you just kind of take in this picture here, a health coach is here with resources and tools and all the education that we could possibly ever get. However, we help you to see yourself as the expert on what's going to work best for you. And so we are meeting you right where you are. We're not 10 steps ahead of you, and we're not 10 steps back. We are right beside you, step by step. And we're here to help hold you accountable to the ways in which you see yourself healthy. So we help you to create an action plan, and we help you to stay consistent, right? And a really huge aspect of the health coaching process is we focus on habit and behavioral change. So a lot of the things that I see is not necessarily knowing what carb or knowing what source of fiber we need. It's really about viewing food, sorry, in healthy way, right? A lot of us have viewed, and not just devices of our own, but society kind of encourages this thinking where we view food as good or bad. However, some food that may be good to me and good in my body and translate well in my body may not be good for you. And so, with a health coach, you really get to see how it's important to know who you are and know what works best for you. And maybe you just need a guide to help you along the way to figure that out or to remember what that looks like. So I like this infographic because it really gives a good picture. I know it might be small for you, but I will highlight one that really is just a good idea of what a health coach helps you do. And that's really the difference between a health coach is the difference between I want to do it and I did it. So we really help you to get from point A to point B. However, we're not afraid to walk backwards to the side, to the left side, because we know that this journey is not just um it's not just linear, right? It could look like different steps, different seasons in your life demand different things from you. And the health coach is here to help you along the way, to help you to really focus on your day-to-day vital feelings, right? We know life is always going to happen. However, life does not necessarily have to happen to us. It can happen for us. And so a health coach can really help you to realize that yes, there's a lot of the things in life that we can't control. However, there's a lot that we can control. And so, a health coach can help you to manage chronic disease or explore root cause with a physician alongside your physician. It also We can also help you with nutrition, stress reduction, or increase in stress, right? Because sometimes you can feel under stress, and also increase in eustress, good stress, or improving your sleep quality. A health coach can help you with that, time management, weight loss or weight gain, or just dealing with the after effects of a traumatic health condition diagnosis, or heart attack or an accident. So, a lot of things that a health coach can help you with. So more specifically, I just like to highlight that behavioral health is one of the strong suits a health coach possesses, or and also because I do have a background in psychology, that is definitely a strong suit of mine to really help you to make the habits stick that you want to stick, and knowing that it kind of starts with the ways in which our mental wellness stands. And so we also really want to take a good bio individual approach to the ways in which you approach your wellness, your vision of wellness. Everyone is unique in their nutritional, lifestyle, and health needs based off their genetics, culture, lifestyle, personal preference, life stages, and your health conditions. So here's just a little bit of the some of the research that I did on like the effectiveness of health coaching. So there are um, change clinical health outcomes. You have behavioral health changes, weight management changes, self-efficacy, and mental health changes. So clinical health changes may look like a reduction in your A1C levels, and this particular study that I looked at was um, they were able to reduce their A1C levels by an average of 0.57 by working with the health coach. Another example is folks who were able to engage with health coaching, they were able to increase their physical activity levels by 30%. Uh, Also, health coaching has been linked to successful weight management. And one of the biggest ones that I really love is that we help to improve your self-efficacy. So meaning that you know that this is something you can do. So beyond the health coaching relationship, that this is something that is now sustainable because you knew that you had it within you this whole time. You just needed someone to help to bring it out of you. So I wanted to give a quick um, highlight and sneak peek into the way that you could possibly work with me. And so this is a series that will be coming soon. And it's the 12 pillars of health, the parts that make you whole. And so this will be a 12-month wellness series. And so each month we will get to dive into each area of health that you saw on the Circle of Life wheel. And so in that, we will be able to just highlight practical tools to apply to your daily life and living. And what's really powerful about this opportunity is that you will be in community and you will be supported by those who are in different parts of their health journey, however, focusing on the same thing, right? Focusing on wellness. And there will be accountability. As your coach, I will be here to hold you accountable. And in addition to the folks that will be joining the cohort, we will all be able to hold each other accountable. Super powerful when folks heal together or reach healthy lifestyles or reach health goals together, because it's just that communal aspect that really helps us to feel human and whole. And so this is a series for you if you're ready to stop guessing and start creating real lasting health just beyond and not and beyond just food. And so here's just a sneak peek, right? I wanted to give you just a little teaser because one of the things that may be ignored when we talk about health is our home environment. So 1 month we will talk about our home environment and how that plays a role in your health. And so um, we get to explore how actually our external world is a good picture of what our internal world looks like. So if our house tends to stay on the cluttered, messy side, we get to explore together, well, what is going on on the inside, right? Do you feel cluttered? Do you feel unorganized? Do you feel like you don't have a grasp or a handle on life? In this group or in that month, we'll get to explore how your external world could just be a reflection of what's going on the inside and how you can now start to contribute to a balanced feeling, a balanced state. We'll also get to explore how to start small. So, yes, we see the big mound of clothes in our laundry room, or we see the dishes every night, and it starts to create this the rabbit hole of I don't have control or there's nothing is going right. However, we get to start small when we take small chunks versus looking at things in big chunks. And so we get to also just practice mindfulness or introduce practicing mindfulness while cleaning, right? A lot of the time I find that is really powerful is when we start to get grateful about the things that actually we find to be stressful, right? When I work with folks to see like the pile of laundry is actually something to be grateful for. We have clothes, we have food, right? If we have dishes in our sink, that means we were able to feed ourselves, right? So being able to just take a different perspective on our health is one powerful way that we start to get to wake up again with full vitality. Um, so that's just a sneak peek on the month that we would talk about our home environment. But this is one way that you can begin to work with me is doing the 12-month series. So as we close and before we get to the questions, I just want to leave you with this question, and maybe you can ponder on it for the rest of today, as you continue on to your day. What would your life look like if you felt your best every day? And I want you to also think about that because you could still feel your best and know that there's stress. However, the stress doesn't have to affect the way you exist in the stress. So, what would you feel? What would your life look like if you felt your best, even when stress came your way? And if you didn't just get through the day, but you thrived in it. So you could just think about that, paint a picture in your mind's eye. And I'll leave you with that question and thank you. And also, I wanted to mention that if working with me in the group setting feels like you want to do a one-on-one first, you can also do so. And Emily will put how to do that in the chat. But yes, I will open up the floor for questions.
So, Morgan, I want to jump in and congratulate you on your presentation. I've been a practicing primary care family doctor for 40 years, and the kind of approach that you're going to provide to patients is so critical. Most primary care physicians spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes, a couple of times a year with patients, and often don't get to the root causes of their problems, and don't deal with their problems in a holistic way. So I'm delighted that your approach is going to take on the multifaceted way of actually helping people to improve and gain health in their life. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So if there are any questions, go ahead and put them into the chat or raise your hand on your screen, and Morgan would be happy to answer any questions. Unless your talk was so clear and that nobody has questions right now. Oh, here we go. When does the 12-month program start?
So that date is still pending. And so what we will do is we can get your information, and we will reach back out to you to send you the official start date of the 12-month program. Thank you for your question.
So there are a couple of thank yous in the chat box, and they enjoyed your talk.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that could also just mean that I was pretty thorough and I might have answered everyone's questions in the presentation, but thank you all for being here. So.
All right. Well, if there's any more questions, raise your hand, or if there aren't any more, then we will conclude our Morgan's wonderful session for the day. Doesn't look like there are any more questions, but there's one new message. Thank you. And they're looking forward to the series. A couple of people have said that.
Awesome.
So
thank you.
I think that's it.
Alrighty.